Did you know that the US dollar is the most widely used currency for international transactions? Well, it has been a key player in the global economy for a long time, but recent events have set off shockwaves. After Egypt's surprising decision to join BRICS, the US dollar's value has taken a major hit, leaving the G7 nations speechless. In this video, we'll break down the implications of this significant move and how it could reshape the economic landscape worldwide. So guys, get ready for an eye-opening analysis that'll leave you wondering about the future of the US dollar and global markets. Let's dive in. Egypt's decision to join the BRICS alliance caused a big shock in global financial markets. This surprised many analysts and policymakers because Egypt has always had close relations with the United States, particularly in terms of economic and military cooperation. However, Egypt's choice to join BRICS represents a major shift in its foreign policy and could have significant implications for the global political and economic landscape, as BRICS stands for the group of emerging and developing economies. The reason behind Egypt's decision to join BRICS could be due to its ambition to diversify its economic and political relations, reduce dependence on the United States, and align itself with other developing powers in the global economy. Egypt has been facing economic challenges, such as rising inflation, high unemployment, and a widening budget deficit in recent years. As a result, the Egyptian government sought new opportunities for economic growth and development, leading to this decision. Now, Egypt aims to access the vast economic resources available within the BRICS bloc, especially in the areas of trade, investment, and technology transfer. The BRICS countries collectively represent over 40% of the world's population and 20% of its gross domestic product. As a member of BRICS, Egypt will gain access to new markets, investment opportunities, and technological expertise. These opportunities have the potential to boost Egypt's economic growth and development. Reducing dependence on the United States is a major driving force behind Egypt's decision to join BRICS. For decades, the United States has been Egypt's main source of economic and military support, providing billions of dollars in annual assistance. Egypt's decision to join BRICS is driven by its desire to reduce reliance on the United States and seek a more diverse range of financial and political support. This trend reflects a broader movement of countries seeking to move away from the traditional Western-dominated global system, which is perceived by many nations as outdated and insensitive to their needs and interests. The value of the United States dollar experienced an immediate and significant reaction following Egypt's announcement of its intention to join BRICS. Within hours of the declaration, the US dollar witnessed a notable decline compared to other major currencies like the euro, yen, and yuan. Although, several factors contributed to this drop, including concerns about the future of US-Egypt relations, potential shifts in global economic power, and the impact of the decision on global oil markets. Specifically, the decline in the value of the US dollar was primarily influenced by concerns about a possible shift in global economic power. One of the main factors contributing to this drop was the potential impact on global oil markets. As a major oil producer and exporter, Egypt's decision to join BRICS raised doubts about its future alignment with the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, which has traditionally been dominated by Saudi Arabia and other Gulf states. This potential shift in allegiance within OPEC could significantly affect the worldwide price of oil. Additionally, the potential impact on relations between the United States and Egypt was another factor that contributed to the drop in the value of the US dollar. The decision to join BRICS might create uncertainties about future cooperation and support between the two countries. Any shift in Egypt's relationship with the United States, which has been its primary source of economic and military assistance for many years, could have significant consequences for regional stability and American interests in the Middle East. The decision to join BRICS reflects broader concerns about the United States' reduced ability to influence the global political and economic system and its declining influence in the region. One of the most notable effects of this change could be heightened volatility in global financial markets. The US dollar has traditionally been considered a safe haven currency, especially during periods of economic uncertainty or political instability in other parts of the world. However, this shift could lead to increased volatility and uncertainty as investors seek alternative currencies and assets to hedge against risks due to the weakened value of the US dollar. Furthermore, there is a possibility of higher inflation in the United States as another potential effect of the weakening of the US currency. When the value of the US dollar decreases, the cost of imported goods and commodities, especially those priced in other currencies, rises. This can lead to higher inflation, because businesses are likely to pass on the increased expenses to their customers, causing prices to go up. Inflation, in turn, can result in decreased consumer confidence, reduced spending, and slower economic growth. These consequences could have significant impacts on both the U.S. economy and the global economy. We can observe the effects of a weaker U.S. dollar on inflation in real-life examples, like after the 2008 financial crisis. To stimulate economic growth and prevent prices from falling too low, the Federal Reserve implemented measures such as quantitative easing and low interest rates. One unintended consequence of the policies implemented after the 2008 financial crisis was the weakening of the U.S. dollar. As investors sought better returns in other currencies and assets, the value of the U.S. dollar declined. This led to a significant increase in the prices of goods paid in U.S. dollars, such as oil and gold, which are often purchased as a hedge against inflation. The rise in inflation in the U.S. was a direct result of companies passing on higher costs to consumers. This was particularly evident in the food and energy industries, where prices rose rapidly, putting a strain on family budgets and reducing consumer spending. The higher inflation also hurt the U.S. economy, hurting consumer confidence and slowing down economic growth. In response to the situation, the Federal Reserve tightened its monetary policy by raising interest rates and shrinking its balance sheet to combat inflation and bring the economy back to normal. This example shows how a weaker U.S. dollar can lead to increased inflation and underscores the importance of carefully balancing economic growth and inflationary pressures. As the global economy continues to change, policymakers must monitor and adapt to new trends and dynamics. The recent decrease in the value of the U.S. dollar may also have significant implications for the landscape of international trade and investments. Currently, over 60% of the world's foreign exchange reserves are denominated in dollars, making it the most important currency for international commerce and investment. A decline in the value of the dollar could lead to an increase in the usage of other currencies, particularly one that has been gaining popularity in recent years. The potential decline in the value of the U.S. dollar could have a significant impact on the patterns of international commerce and investment, especially in Asia, where China holds a dominant economic position. In conclusion, the weakening of the U.S. dollar highlights a broader trend of shifting power balances in the global economy. The rise of emerging economies, particularly in Asia, has led to a gradual shift away from the previous global order dominated by Western powers, moving towards a more multipolar and decentralized system. This change is shown by Egypt's decision to join BRICS, stressing the growing influence of developing economies in shaping the global political and economic landscape. Alright guys, that wraps up our video for today. What are your thoughts on Egypt's move to join BRICS, and do you think it will affect their ties with the US?